So last time we were seeing different rootstocks of Guava. So how we can obtain this rootstock or seedling for the preparation of further any type of grafting or air layers or some buddings. So whichever possible commercial method is there for. So for that, how we can obtain this rootstock? So for that, so many different varieties or some rootstock species are recommended. So here some species are there. So they have their own properties like dwarfing effect, nematode resistant, some drought or some dwarfing. So as well as some they can enhance the or improve the quality parameters of cyan. Okay. So by that way, they will improve the quality parameters of that particular variety. So in that way also, some rootstocks are available. So in that way here, Chinese Guava is available, Cedium tetrastylanium. So it is dwarfing rootstock, resistant to nematode, Malidogene incognita. Then Cedium humilum, it is also dwarfing effect. Then sugar content of the fruit, it will get increased with the help of this type of rootstock. Then Cedium caduilus, it will improve the ascorbic acid content of the fruit when you are utilizing this type of rootstock with any suitable sign stick. Okay. So then next one is Pusas region. Pusas region, it is a dwarfing rootstock. It is by IRI New Delhi. So it is particularly dwarfing rootstock. So when you are going for high density planting, so this type of rootstocks are very suitable. So next one, how you will raise this rootstock or seedling. So last time also we have seen. So first we need to rootstock. So rootstock here this seedling rootstock. Okay. So we are seed rootstock or seedling rootstock. So we are obtaining this rootstock with the help of seed material. Okay. So for that, what we have to do is fully ripened fruits we have to collect from any from which we want to obtain the rootstock. That particular variety we need to collect the seeds. So seeds we can collect from fully ripened fruits, healthy, pest disease free. So these seeds you can store for 100 days. After that, you can treat with ferulic acid at 10:3 molar concentration. Then potassium nitrate, also you can use 1% to prolong the storage of seeds. So here also this treatment can be done for storage of seed. Okay. So this also in storage, we can use this uric acid as well as this potassium nitrate. Okay, so seedlings will be ready. After that, you can go for sowing in the raised bed or particular anything polythene bag. So in that way, or any container, suitable container, we can use for obtaining this rootstock or seedlings. So here these seedlings will be ready after for grafting. Okay, 45 to 60 days after sowing. So it will take around 2 months for getting ready your seedlings. The after that you can suppose there is wedge grafting. So grafting methods you can use whichever grafting is there, suitable technique, commercial method you can use for that grafting, or sometime layering. So there is a method particular that is air layering. Last time I explained this method. So layers should be treated with, you can treat layers that which portion you are removing the bark, that portion you can treat with IPA 1000 ppm for better rooting. So in this way you can go for this obtaining rootstock. For this you need some rooting media also, or that media. So media you can use like in general some soil plus leaf mold or compost plus some sand. So in that way you can prepare the media on which you are going to sow the seeds. Okay, so coming to planting, so planting of fruits. So Guava, you can plant Guava at the time of onset of monsoon with the proper spacing of 16 to 6 meter by opening 90 centimeter cube pits provided with 30 to 40 kilogram of 30 to 40 kilogram of FYM. At the time of planting, you need to mix. Then you can mix some dried leaves as well as 1 kg of SSP. Okay, so this you can mix with the top layer of soil. So downside layer of soil you can avoid. So in top layer of soil, you can mix all these things. Then you can fill the pit. Okay, you can fill the pit. Then at the time of planting, you can fill the pit up to half. Then you can take your graft. You without disturbing earth wall, you can place at the center of this pit, and other soil plus your planting media, whatever you have mixed, that proper mixture of all these things, top soil plus SSP as well as dried leaf or leaf mold FYM, all this mixture you can add there, and you can fill up to the fill pit top of the to the ground level. Okay, so pit you can fill with this top soil FYM green leaves. Okay, so this operation, all operation can be done time of onset of monsoon. So coming to irrigation, so immediately after the planting, so plants you need to water. So if required, you can give some support also or staking. So that is good during this. During if there is heavy rains or sometime heavy wind is there, so it will give some protection as well as it will give some support. Okay, so during summer, during summer as well as winter season, you can do this support. It is very much requirement, as well as this irrigation you required during summer as well as winter season as per the need till the initial establishment of the your graft. Okay, so orchard can be irrigated at the interval of 4 to 6 and 10 to 15 days respectively during first in summer. Okay, so summer you interval will be less and winter interval will be more. So in summer you have to irrigate with interval of 4 to 6 day. So that is between two irrigations. So that many days you can distance you can keep. So here 10 to 15 days during winter season. So at the early stages, early stage of the grafting, so this will be later stage, early stage of the grafting. So it is up to 1 year. So you can give 8 to 10 irrigations per year. So that is required for proper maintenance of canopy or branches or vegetative growth. Okay. So full tree grown. So full grown tree during April or June. Okay, 15 days interval irrigation also you can give. So that is for fully grown tree. So they can withstand some stress for up to some extent because they are capable enough, because their growth is completed, vegetative growth is completed, cannot be fully developed. But at early stage, you need to give irrigation with proper interval, that is given here 4 to 6 days during the summer and 10 to 15 days during the winter. So in this way, it will be 10 to 8 to 10 irrigations per year. Early stage should be there. So after that, there should be proper mulching. So mulching with the help of any organic mulches or somewhere black polythene mulches also suitable, or any suitable organic mulches. So coming to intercropping, so here you can during this pre-bearing period of this crop, guava fruits, so you are planting with distance 6 into 6 meters. So there will be so much interspace. So interspace you can utilize by planting some short duration fruit crops or short duration vegetable crops. So this will be very suitable. If you are taking some leguminous vegetable or green manuring crops, okay, for 1 to 2 year, so it will improve your soil fertility. It will add nitrogen content of your soils. So for that, leguminous crops as well as some groundnuts. So these all, they will have root nodules in their roots. So they will fix the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into nitrate. So as well as by this way, they will improve nitrogen content as well as fertility of your soil. So up to 3 years age, you can take these intercrops. Coming to manuring, so trees should be provided with 25 kg of FYM. So trees should be provided with 25 kg of FYM per plant at the time of planting. Then fertilizer dosage should be given based on the age of plant. Okay, so age of plant you can increase like 1 year 1/10 dose, 2 year 2/10, as like in case of mango, you can increase the dose. Okay. So coming to this following, so here is some fertilizer recommendation given in different states. So fertilizer recommendation, it will state according to type of soil, as well as per state fertilizer recommendation is different. So here is some fertilizer recommendation given. It's per gram per year in different states. Okay. So this much fertilizer it is required. So here NPK as well as FYM is given. So fertilizers are applied in 2 split doses. So half of N and full of P as well as K during Bahar treatment, and remaining half of N one half, okay, 1 to 1.5 month after first application. So in this way you can give the these fertilizers as well as manures. So foliar application of urea 3% along with calcium, phosphate, muriate of potash. So at 1%, this will improve the yield. Then deficiency of some micronutrients such as zinc, boron. And so this can be rectified by spraying some zinc sulfate or boron like boric acid. So just before the flowering. So in this way also, this is some recommendation. So half N as well as so in this way also they can give in some other part. So here foliar spray or micronutrients they have recommended like zinc sulfate, magnesium sulfate, ferrous sulfate. So this will be very helpful. Otherwise, there is some bronzing like disorder is there. So it is so Guava plants are very susceptible to that type of disease. So this, especially this disease is very common in South Indian states. So for that, it is micronutrient. We need to take care about micronutrient, and we have to supply as and when those are necessary. Okay. So here is one. This is that is bronzing, or it is fatio disease. Also, it is called as fatio disease. So leaves turn into pale or purple color, small in size. Then leaves there will be sparse flowering, death of young growing tips. Ultimately, plant will dry. This may be due to the deficiency of NPK, then zinc, magnesium, or low pH, spraying of 0.5% DAP, diammonium phosphate, or zinc sulfate. during October, November at weekly interval. This will improve this infection. Okay. So coming to weed management. So weed is problematic at the early stage of growth of crop. So for conservation of moisture, proper utilization of nutrient, as well as for effective control of pest and disease, we need to go for proper weeding. So integrated weed management approaches also can be taken up by using different type of cover crops or this leguminous crops, as well as this will, if you are going for this cover crop or leguminous crops, so your weeds also will be under control, as well as you can improve soil fertility. You can provide excess amount of proper amount of nitrogen to the soil. So both way you can, it will be benefited to your crop. So use of herbicides, then intercropping. So all these techniques, then hand weeding. So that is manual approach. So all this way you can go for with controlling your weeds problem. So coming to very important aspect, that is training and pruning. So training and pruning, it is very important aspect in case of Guava, especially when we are going for high density planting or planting with the help of some grafts. So here training is done primarily to give the form. So here very important aspect, this aspect is training and pruning. So training is done primarily to give proper form as well as structure as well as framework to the tree. So the development of strong framework, it is very essential. So first 60 to 70 centimeter from the base of the trunk, you have to clean. So you need not to maintain any branches at the trunk of Guava, 60 to 90 centimeter. Okay, so whatever branches are coming at the early stages, you need to remove. So those should be cleaned up, followed by 4 to 5 scaffold branches at interval of 20 to 25 centimeters. So after that, after 60 centimeter, you can start maintaining different branches, like one branch alternate other branch. In that way, 4 to 5 branches, scaffold branches at the interval of, so that is distance between these two branches, or interval, internodal distance between these two branches will be 20 to 25 centimeter. So when the plants will be attaining the height of 1.5 to 1.8 meter, so you can head back. So that is, you have to decapitation, or you need to give the horizontal cut, okay, to the growing stem. Vertical growing stem, you need to give cut at the height of 1.5 to 1.8 meter. So in order to make the center open. Okay. In some part of India, Maharashtra as well as South Bengal, the branches are bent down and tied to each other. So this is especially practiced because Guava is having erect growing branches. Sometimes, especially in most of the variety, the branches will be erect growing. So that is tendency of apical dominance. So if that tendency is there, so there will be very less accumulation of carbohydrate in the shoots, as well as there will be difficulty for maintaining CN ratio of that particular tree. So as well as gibberellins will get increase in that particular branch. So altogether it will affect in getting very less number of fruits or malformed or very weak fruits. So for this in Guava, there is one practice of so which are branches are there, erect growing branches. These are we can lower somewhat. We can so if there are two Guava plants are there growing side by each other, so their branches we can tie together and tie together with the help of some rope or thread, and at the bottom we can keep one very big stone or some heavy weight, so they will be lowered down to the ground, and there will be proper accumulation of carbohydrates as well as flow of food material. Reservoir materials will be good, as well as it will maintain your CN ratio, auxins level in that particular shoots. So there will be proper hormonal balance, and it will help for proper flowering. By that way, you can get the proper fruiting. So this practice is very common in Maharashtra, then South Bengal. So by forcing these dormant birds to grow, so this will result in heavy yield. So trees are rarely pruned in North India. So in North India, trees are very rarely pruning. So initial whatever you have seen, that is the training aspect. So before bending technique, that is training aspect. So after that, pruning techniques. So pruning techniques, so trees are very rarely pruned in North India, but somewhat light annual pruning after harvesting to produce, to promote some good vegetative growth and flowering. It is desirable or required. But otherwise, you all the time you need to remove dead, disease, or pest affected, crowded branches, which are crisscross branches, dense branches, as well as sometimes offshoots or offshooters are also coming from the base or side. So that also you need to cut by proper interval each year. So prune trees give the larger fruits as well as early ripening. Okay, so you need to prune the trees so that you can maintain your yield, okay, properly. So these all are practices to maintain the proper canopy of the plant. Okay, so by that way you can get the proper flowering as well as proper yield you will get. Okay. So this is training. So यहाँ पर भी आपको ये ट्रेनिंग कैसे करते हैं गाँव में, इसका ओपन सेंटर सिस्टम है यहाँ पे, or delayed open system also we can tell. So delayed means it will take more time to reach, around 1 year also it will take to reach there 60 to 90 centimeter stem. So after reaching this 60 to 90 centimeter stem, you need to decapitate. So यहाँ पे so they are cutting with the help of some secateurs. So there will be horizontal cut. So after giving this cut, it will start giving some side branches. So you can maintain this 3 to 4 or 4 to 6 up to 4 5 side branches, scaffold branches. You can 20 to 25 centimeter distance you can maintain in this way. So after that, there will be secondary branches. So these are secondary. So for this secondary branch also, you can give the cut in the same way. So if you have given here also cut, it will start producing some other, again some branches. So that will be your tertiary growth. So in this way, you can obtain some tertiary growth. So here also for each, you can maintain 3 or 4. So after cutting, it will give each 3 or 4. Again, for each that branch, again you can go for small cutting. Okay, so in that way you can follow this technique. Okay, so for each year, so second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, so in that way you can make secondary branches, tertiary branches. Okay, up to fifth you can maintain this your level of branches. Okay, up to fifth year you can do this technique. So this comes in your training aspect. Okay, so earlier, but in North India it is very rarely done. But when you are going for some high density planting, or when we need to maintain the canopy, crop regulation, canopy maintenance, so that time these techniques are very essential. Okay. So tip of the branches you are pruning, or flowering shoot also you are pruning. So up to fourth or fifth year you can do this technique, because at the early stages we are giving encouragement for developing its canopy or vegetative growth. So that is pre-bearing period of that particular crop. So we are not expecting any fruit yield during that time, in the early stages of that crop establishment. So coming to pollarding, so pollarding, it is rejuvenation of old trees. So when trees are becoming very old and unproductive, so they are not giving any good crop yield, flowering as well as fruiting. So in that time, we can go for this rejuvenation. Rejuvenation, it is same way as in case of mango. So we have seen mango, like so tall growing trees, we are cutting at particular height. Okay, so there will be severe pruning. So branches will be cut at 1 meter height. Then root will be exposed to the sun. So after 2 weeks, you can add organic matter application as well as light irrigation you can give. So number of new flushes or new buds will come. So main trunk of tree you will cut at 1 meter height. So after that, you can give proper organic matter, organic manures, light proper irrigation. So it will start developing some new flushes, new shoots. So you can give encouragement for growing that new shoots. Or if you want, you can take some science from some other variety, and you can go for some grafting techniques also, like wedge grafting or veneer grafting, softwood grafting. So by that way, single new shoot you can select. That shoot you can use as a rootstock, and by that, with the help of some science from desired variety, you can go for grafting. Okay. So in that way, you can that old as well as unproductive guava tree, you can convert into productive one. So that will give you proper flowering and fruiting in future. Okay. Flowering as well as coming to flowering as well as fruiting. So guava tree flowers throughout the year. So यहाँ पे guava tree आपको throughout the year yield और flowering देते हैं. यहाँ पे पीक फ्लावरिंग 2 बताया है, कभी कभी 3 भी बताते हैं. तो यहाँ पे किसी लिटरेचर में 2 बताया है, जैसे कि रेनी सीजन में एक क्रॉप होता है अप्रैल मई में,